Well, let me start off by saying that I would consider myself to be a very experienced drug user, but nothing could have prepared me for the effects of 5-MeU DMT. I thought myself to be jaded to the effects of drugs, but this stuff knocked me on my ass. My friend had just purchased a large quantity of 5-MeU DMT. I walked into his house with my boyfriend and my friend had already experienced the drug, by himself I might add, the crazy bastard. I was very excited to try this drug, after hearing about his experience. I laid down on his bed and he held a small glass pipe to my mouth, with a flame underneath the bowl. I inhaled the substance and then began to cough profusely. My boyfriend was on the other side of the room, laying on a couch, and he also took a hit of it and laid back. I laid there and everything began to look fuzzy. I was waiting for the full effects to begin. I sat up and commented on how everything looked weird and fuzzy. My boyfriend was experiencing the same thing. My friend said, "You guys don't feel it yet?" I told him I was waiting for it to come on and he said I should feel it immediately. I took another hit and again began to cough profusely. I definitely felt the effects this time. I went to grab a bottle of Coke to get the soreness out of my throat, and it was very difficult to drink. I laid back and felt like I had just done 50 whippets. The room was going wild and I could not focus or concentrate on anything. Breathing became very difficult because of the harshness of the smoke. I had no real concept of what was going on. I could not fathom reality, time, where I was, or what the hell was going on. I described this feeling to a friend as being in a K-hole, on numerous hits of acid, while doing whippets. I became extremely paranoid as breathing seemed to become increasingly difficult. I began to try to take deep breaths, but I didn't know if the air was coming in or going on. I really thought that I was going to die. I had a little voice in the back of my head telling me this was it and that I was going to die. I pulled all my strength together and yelled help. It felt like I was having a nightmare and trying to scream. I realized I was screaming help, help, and all I wanted to do was go to the hospital. I was thinking about my life and the consequences of going to the hospital, but all of that seemed unimportant because I thought I was really dying. I could not see straight at all and I didn't know what was going on around me. I began to try to rip my hair out. I was terrified out of my mind. I had no idea that my boyfriend, also on 5-MeU DMT, had snapped out of his trip and was on top of me, trying to restrain me. I remember pulling on my hair and my forehead feeling sweaty. I don't really know anything else that was going on around me. The next thing I knew, I was in the fetal position and I opened my eyes to see my friend standing in the room and my boyfriend sitting on the couch. Everything looked very cloudy and I was seeing crazy trails off of everything. I still could not see straight, but at this point, I had a grip on what was going on. My friend asked if I was okay and I said that I wasn't sure. I slowly got up and asked my boyfriend to come and sit with me. I was holding onto him and my friend left the room. I began to touch my boyfriend and I felt highly sensual, not sexual. I wanted to touch him all over, but he was still feeling somewhat of the after effects himself, although he had experienced nothing close to what I had. After everything looked more and more normal, I began asking what had happened, where everyone was while I was freaking out, and what I was doing. I felt a sense of relief and all the tension and anxiety I had felt seemed to melt away. I watched another person try 5-MeU DMT that night and he just laid there, breathing heavily, with a big smile on his face. I don't know why I reacted the way I did and nobody else had. I have never flipped out on drugs before or felt a drug take over me the way 5-MeU DMT had. I continued to ponder the effect it had on me and I think I may try it again, in a safe, controlled environment, but not anytime soon.